He is known for being an early Christian Gnostic religious teacher in Alexandria, Egypt. He is recognized for inheriting his teachings from the apostle Saint Matthias. He is Basilides. In the ancient city of Alexandria, Egypt, during the 2nd century AD, there lived a remarkable philosopher and religious teacher named Basilides. Born into a devout Christian family, Basilides was deeply influenced by his surroundings and the teachings of the apostle Saint Matthias. With a thirst for knowledge and a burning curiosity, he embarked on a journey to explore the realms of spirituality and philosophy. Under the guidance of his mentor, either the Simonian teacher Menander or the disciple of Peter named Glaucias, Basilides delved into the mysteries of the universe. He spent years studying among the Persians, immersing himself in their culture and wisdom. It was during this time that he began to develop his own unique understanding of Christianity. Basilides' profound insights and interpretations of the Christian gospel led him to write over 24 books of commentary, known as exegetica. These writings became a cornerstone of his teachings and solidified his reputation as one of the earliest gospel commentators. His followers, known as the Basilidians, were captivated by his profound wisdom and flocked to his teachings. The Basilidian movement flourished and persisted for centuries after Basilides' death, with a strong presence in the Nile Delta region of Egypt. However, as time went on, the Basilidians merged into the broader Gnostic movement, losing their distinct identity. Basilides' legacy as a philosopher, teacher, and commentator on the Christian gospel continues to inspire and intrigue scholars to this day. His profound understanding of spirituality and his ability to bridge the gap between philosophy and religion left an indelible mark on the ancient world and beyond. Basilides' teachings serve as a testament to the enduring power of knowledge and the quest for truth. Basilides, a prominent figure in the world of ancient philosophy, was known for his complex and enigmatic system of thought. Different sources have presented varying descriptions of his philosophy, making it challenging to fully grasp the intricacies of his beliefs. Saint Irenaeus depicted Basilides as a dualist and emanationist, while Hippolytus portrayed him as a pantheistic evolutionist. According to Irenaeus, Basilides proposed a hierarchical structure of emanations from an unborn father, resulting in multiple heavenly realms and angelic powers. Interestingly, the Jewish God was identified as one of these angels. In Basilides' system, Christ appeared as a savior from the dominion of these angelic rulers, suggesting a substitution of Christ with Simon of Cyrene during the crucifixion. Epiphanius and Pseudo-Tertullian further enhanced this portrayal by associating Basilides with the mystical name Abraxas and a contempt for material reality. They claimed that Basilides regarded suffering and martyrdom as meaningless, attaching them to the physical world. However, Hippolytus offered a different perspective on Basilides' teachings. He presented Basilides as proposing a state of non-existence before creation, brought into being by a desireless and passionless not being God. This God generated the seed of the world, rejecting both emanation and the eternity of matter. Basilides described 3 filiations within the world seed, representing different elements of existence. Each of these filiations strive towards the not being God through different means. Basilides envisioned a divine hierarchy with archons governing various heavenly spheres, with the highest being Abraxas. Redemption, as conceived by Basilides, involved a return to the primordial state of being. Matter, associated with the physical world's imperfections, would revert to a state of primal chaos. The psychic element, linked to the soul and consciousness, would return to the hebdomad, a realm governed by the second archon. The spiritual element, considered the highest form of existence, would transcend the physical and psychic realms and reunite with the not being God, an entity that exists beyond existence itself. Basilides' metaphysical system culminated in the restoration of all things, where divine blissful ignorance would envelop all existence. This ignorance did not imply a lack of knowledge, but rather a state of divine tranquility and peace, devoid of desire or striving. It represented an end to dualistic conflicts and the cessation of all suffering, signifying perfect unity and harmony. Ethically, Basilides viewed faith as a natural trait and perceived sin and suffering as intrinsic to existence. He even considered Christ to be a sinful man due to his understanding of evil as an inherent principle. Although Basilides' system faced criticism for potential immorality, it is important to note that these accusations may not have applied directly to Basilides himself. Nonetheless, some forms of Gnosticism, including Basilidianism, did give rise to morally questionable practices over time. Basilides' son, Isidore, played a pivotal role in the continuation and development of Basilidian Gnosticism. While preserving his father's core ideas, Isidore introduced additional elements influenced by Stoic philosophy and popular superstition. He emphasized the need to abstain from worldly desires in order to attain purifying knowledge, presenting a more ethically balanced approach. The Basilidian tradition persisted until the 4th century AD, primarily in Egypt, before gradually fading away due to external pressures and internal conflicts. The rise of Orthodox Christianity and the establishment of the Nicene Creed in 325 AD marginalized Gnostic sects, including Basilidianism. Nevertheless, Basilides' teachings have left a lasting impact on religious thought. In recent times, there has been a resurgence of interest in Gnostic texts, reigniting the significance of Basilidian beliefs. The recovery of the Nag Hammadi Library, a collection of Gnostic texts, in the mid-20th century has provided new insights into Gnosticism, potentially including Basilidian ideas. Despite its eventual decline, Basilidianism continues to challenge orthodox notions and offers innovative perspectives on the divine, the cosmos, and the nature of humanity. It is essential to approach these historical accounts with caution, considering that most were written by individuals who opposed Gnosticism. Their portrayals may be influenced by bias and may not provide a completely objective understanding of Basilides' philosophy. Basilides, a renowned philosopher of his time, had a unique perspective on the creation of the universe. His philosophy, known as Basilidianism, challenged traditional beliefs and offered an alternative understanding of divinity. According to historians, his views were similar to those of his rival Valentinus, both rooted in the concept of emanations from an uncreated, ineffable pleroma. In Basilides' teachings, he asserted that matter and the material universe were inherently evil. He believed that the God of the Old Testament, often associated with the creator of the world, was actually a misguided archon or lesser deity. This belief set him apart from mainstream religious thought and led to his reputation as a controversial figure. Historians have debated the accuracy of accounts describing Basilides' philosophy. While some suggest that later interpretations corrupted the original teachings, others argue that Clement of Alexandria and Hippolytus, who had direct access to Basilides' own work, accurately represented his doctrine. These scholars believed that their knowledge of the system came from Basilides himself through his writings, particularly the Exegetica. Basilides' philosophy offers valuable insights into our understanding of divinity and morality. By challenging conventional beliefs, he encourages us to question the nature of the universe and our place within it. His rejection of the material world as inherently evil prompts us to reflect on the complexities of good and evil and the potential for transcendence beyond the physical realm. As we navigate our daily lives, Basilides' teachings remind us to critically examine the beliefs and values that shape our actions. His philosophy encourages us to question the status quo and seek a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. By embracing the possibility of alternative perspectives, we can expand our horizons and foster a more compassionate and enlightened society. Basilides, a prominent figure in the realm of ancient philosophy, was known for his unique perspective on faith and salvation. Unlike many others, Basilides taught that salvation could only be attained through knowledge, rather than through faith alone. He believed that this knowledge, known as gnosis, was a divine revelation bestowed upon humanity by Jesus Christ himself. In Basilides' eyes, faith held no significance in the pursuit of salvation. Instead, he considered it to be nothing more than an ascent of the soul to any of the things which do not excite sensation, because they are not present. According to Basilides, faith was not a conscious choice made by individuals but rather a natural inclination within them. He believed that people would discover doctrines without demonstration by an intellective apprehension. In other words, faith was a matter of one's nature and not something that could be consciously chosen. This unique perspective on faith and knowledge set Basilides apart from his contemporaries. Basilides took his belief in the natural aspect of faith to the extreme, leading him to separate a specific group of individuals as the elect. He believed that these chosen individuals were entitled to a higher level of enlightenment as determined by divine decree. Basilides referred to the elect as a stranger to the world, as being by nature supermundane, emphasizing their separation from the rest of humanity. While Basilides' philosophy may seem complex and abstract, it can offer valuable insights for our daily lives. His emphasis on the importance of knowledge in the pursuit of salvation encourages us to seek understanding and wisdom in our own lives. By striving for intellectual apprehension and gaining knowledge, we can deepen our understanding of the world around us and potentially uncover deeper truths.
Do you want to explore more philosophers? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.